Legend Total here, and today we've got a saving a disaster situation playing as Clan Mulder, where this guy's made some unfortunate decisions here, and over the end turn, this army and Drycha, who is currently sitting at Krugenheim, are going to attack him. Now, there's a number of things that we can do to make the situation a little bit better for us, and really turn the tables on them. So, if we fought that battle just as it is, we kind of don't stand a chance. The terrain is bad, and Wood Elves are one of the most difficult opponents to fight on the battlefield if the odds aren't already in your favor. So what we really need to do here is just turn the tables, make it go in our favor, and then absolutely screw Drycha over. So, we have a dude that has used up all of his movement in Force March. What he did was he went and besieged the settlement thinking he can handle it. Turns out he couldn't handle it. Loaded the save file and then, backed off, and then gets screwed. Now, we need to kick this guy out because I have to change stance. But we need some money to do that because he doesn't have any reserve lords available. He's recruiting another army for some reason. His money's not very good. I don't know why he's recruiting more troops. Sometimes watching these, looking at these save files, I kind of understand why people would be like, why don't you raise another army? You've got 1,000 gold in the bank. It's like, why are you raising another army now? You don't need it. You've already got, how many armies you got? You got 5. That's plenty. Get your money up first. As I was looking around at the provinces, I noticed that most of them aren't developed. He's just, he's expanding very quickly, but not expanding well, I suppose. These settlements just not high level. Like these ones here are all low level, and that's where you're going to get a lot of the money with the Skaven. Anyway, so we cancelled some recruitment there, so we got some money to tag out here. Let's get a assassin. This one here will do. And when you tag out a lord from an army, even after you've used up all your force march, the character is deemed as having not moved at all. So as long as I don't press right click here and move him, the game still thinks I've actually used up 0% of his movement. 0% out of 0 move points, right? So I can change stance. Now, I could go into ambush stance here, but that always has a chance of backfiring. Now, here's the thing. I want them to attack me. I want them to come at me this turn. I just don't want to actually engage them. I just want Drycha to come over here so I can get her next turn. We're going to set a trap. Okay, because generally speaking, as I've said, it's always better to be the attacker, and that's what we need to do here. And I'm just gonna set up the trap so that they can fall for it. All right, and let's jump in here and just hit end turn. Now, of course, switching out the Lord for a new Lord to get out of Force March stance is a little bit of an exploit. So, use that as you see fit. But generally speaking, when somebody sends me a save file, they don't give a fuck if I use an exploit to bail them out. Okay, so we have a look at what he was up against. This is just too much. While you possibly could win it, there's no way you're going to win this with your army being good enough to be able to handle the Griffinwood. And ultimately, it's just a strategic whitewash. It just won't do anything, even if you did win. So it's really important that when you play this game, you understand when it's important to fight a battle and when it's not important to fight a battle, if you have the option. Because if you fight a battle and win, but gain absolutely no ground and screw your army over, it's not really a victory. However, if you fight a battle and lose and damage the enemy in some crippling sort of way, that's actually better than some victories. Ultimately, in this point here, what are we fighting over? Just fighting over their lives. Do we need to fight this battle? No. So back off. Because there's no value in victory there. And if there's no value in victory, then don't fight the battle. The only value would have been to kill off Drycha's army. But the problem then would have been, it would have killed off our army. Guaranteed. There's no way I could have won that with 0 casualties. It's just too difficult, right? Maybe do this one. Yeah. So, ideally, what you want to be doing in this situation is winning the war. You need to take the Griffinwood. So, we need a full-strength army to get to the Griffinwood. That's really important. That's what I'm trying to work towards here. Okay, so, let's just have a quick look to see what new lords have shown up. You got a sneaky one there, that's good. Okay. if we have a look at him at the moment, his ambush success chance is 55%. Now, because they're on force march, you add an additional 25%, so that brings them up to 80, I think. So there's still a 20% chance that we won't ambush them. Now, this is why I really stack on the cunning characters when I play Skaven, because having a 100% ambush success chance is awesome. Now, we have a 100% ambush success chance. They cannot, unless they have ambush defense, which the AI sometimes does, sometimes doesn't, they have no ability to resist us here.
Quiet, silent execution.
And, oh, we turn the tables on them. Now, if we fight this battle manually, we can easily just auto-resolve it, but if we fight it manually, we should be able to do this without really taking any damage whatsoever. But we have to keep in mind the Deepwood Scouts here. They've got a lot of ammunition. Their range is 180. Our range is 145 with them. So we don't want to get in too close. So, I guess we could... No. If we auto-resolve it, we will take some damage. I want to walk out of this with no damage. I want you to be able to take the Griffin Wood with just no concerns now. Now, this is terrible terrain, but because it's ambush, we don't really need to worry about that, because they're just going to stand still. For the most part. Yeah, the biggest concern is definitely these ones here, and the possibility of them rushing at us. There's also a lesson in why you shouldn't attack an enemy that's like at the very edge of your movement that isn't in force march, because if they retreat, then they can attack you over their turn. But the AI will oftentimes fall for that kind of stuff. Yeah, the terrain is not... okay, shooting through here would be fine. So I think the Jezzails will actually be more handy than the Rattling guns here. So they'll spot us immediately, as soon as I move. Okay. Yep, they'll spot us immediately. And they should just get into a formation and don't worry about it. Okay, now we don't want to spend too long on this. Mountain power is in our favor, but we don't want to be taking any damage. Also, just a note in this army, I think there's way too many Rattling guns. Way too many. It's not that Rattling guns are bad, obviously not. But I just don't think you need that many. You should really think about getting some more cunning heroes. Makes a big difference. It's good support. Especially some Plague Priests. Okay. Terrain's going to be a little bit off, but they'll just sit there and take it for the most part. Okay. Yeah, even have the Plague Claw Catapult shooting, because we just need to... Actually, have the Plague Claw Catapult shoot at the multi-entity units, and the Ikit Zap. Make sure these ones here are ready to support just in case they charge at us, which they shouldn't, because we're at such a high distance. Shoot at the Great Eagles. Now, we can't see the Deepwood Scouts, but they're in here somewhere. Right, try to use the longest range stuff first, because, yeah, I don't know why they made the AI behave this way, but they made it so that they just are super defensive. In an ambush defense situation, they just will not budge, unless you get in too close. So you can see here, there are some dead Deepwood Scouts in there. We just can't see where they are, because they just constantly reform. After we've used up the ammunition from these, we should use the Jezzails. So bounce of power's looking good. I'm not too concerned about, wasting ammunition here. Or, an anti-infantry weapon shooting at a large unit. It's fine. Okay, let's start moving them up, because there's no way we're going to win with just them. We've got a good dent into it, but... it's not enough. Alright, just let them fire at will to shoot at whatever they want. That's it. You just take your time and slaughter them. Okay, if we can get rid of Drycha first, that would be pretty good. Bounce barrel's looking good. I have no idea what's happened to the Deepwood Scouts. Like, it looks like we've killed a lot of them, but I don't know if we've killed them all. If they rout, they should go out from stalking, but I'm not sure. Alright, it seems like shooting at the Eagles is maybe a bit of a waste. They're just... When you shoot at them, they kind of just dodge the next few shots. You need to shoot them kind of at close range. Or when they're in a state where they can't be stun locked. Because, yeah, their injured animation actually protects them from incoming missiles. Okay, I don't know if we've got enough ammunition here to win with the Jezzails. We might have to bring in some others. Oh, there we go. Just enough ammo there. Good, good, good. Cool. That way, no casualties. We can move on to the next fight without any damage. Now, you might also think, oh, but the level 14 Lord, he didn't get any experience. Well, 5 turns he can come back and he can go command a different army, or this one again. And then you've got this guy just in case of emergencies for ambushing. And sneaky is such a good trait for scafing, because you really do want to always be the attacker. Being the defender, even with a really good army, can sometimes screw you over if the terrain's bad.
Want meat back, give gold. Scuttle forth, rat king.
Okay, now, if we hit Route Marcher now, we'll get a little bit of extra movement. I'm not sure if that's going to make any difference to getting to the Griffinwood, but we can get to him. You should have gone with increased mobility first. That's while Arms Dealer is good, don't get me wrong, you need that campaign movement range. It's absolutely essential. And then we hit him. Okay, once again, could auto-resolve it, but I don't want you taking any damage whatsoever. I want you to be able to go into the next fight at full strength. How did he get... Oh, because we walked into a Wood Elf territory. That's how he took attrition. Okay, so this seems like less than what Drycha had. And the thing is, by what we've done here, we've turned this into from a disaster situation straight away into a we screwed them over. And the war will be over next turn, essentially. Rather than back and forth for friggin' 10 turns, which I'm sure some people might find more interesting. But you gotta understand that when people send these things in, they want me to fix it. They're not like, hey, Legend, could you please struggle for 10 turns just for my entertainment's sake? You know, that's not what the case is. People want their campaigns solved because they reached a point where they just weren't sure what to do. And sometimes you have the opportunity to demolish the AI. Sometimes, especially when you're playing Skaven. They just have so many tools at their disposal for screwing over the enemy. Stop moving. Okay, I think I may need to get around over here. But we don't want to get too close to them. Yeah, okay, so they've got dude with Volley of Kurnos. So we'll take a little bit of damage, but we should be able to take the post-battle loot option to heal. So just got to get in a bit closer there. Yeah, as long as they don't destroy any of the siege equipment. They've only got one more of that ability. Then it should be fine. It'd be very easy to heal them. Okay. That's it. We want to use up the longest range stuff first. Cool. I think that one... Yeah, it only got one kill. Alright, let's aim over there. The terrain's a little bit of a problem. But the reason why we're aiming for here is because that's where all of the infantry, quote-unquote, stuff is. Maybe you aim for the Hawk Riders. Those trees are definitely a problem there, but if we move around over here, we should be okay to move it a little bit up over this way. Okay, should be okay to get a little bit closer there. So if you ever look, they're definitely getting kills, but a lot of the kills they're getting are just from hidden units. They're in there. Just can't see them. Bounce power's looking good. As long as we don't get too close to them, and the rough range to which they charge at you is about 160. That's when they start to charge at you. The closer you get, the worse off it is. So that's why you want to use the artillery first, because you're guaranteed for them to not charge at you. With the exception of Bretonia for some reason. Bretonia, with siege, with ambushes, they just go straight for you for some reason. Always found them quite difficult to ambush. Okay, these Jezzails here should have enough ammunition to finish the job. But just in case, we'll bring in the avalanche mortars as well. They should have enough range that it's not going to trigger them to come at us. But yeah, there's a whole bunch of infantry in here that they would be especially good at dealing with. Yeah, don't aim for the malevolent treeman with the avalanche mortars. It's not going to do much. Okay, that'll do that. Move up a bit more. Yeah, see, they're starting to charge in on us. That's why you want to stay at range. The further back you are, the less likely they're going to come at you. Let's get rid of that lord. And kind of why we don't want to use the rattling guns, because they will charge at us from that range. Aim for their highest bounce power units. Also, the dragons are quite big, so easier to hit. Just want to inflict... There we go. Inflict the army losses. There we go. We used up less ammo than last time, but got hit a little bit. And there we go. Got through both of those armies without, you know, needing to get absolutely fucked in a defensive situation. Don't get me wrong. If we have to fight a battle like that, then you've got no choice, you've got to fight it. But we didn't need to. We had a way out. And in essence, he really just shouldn't have left himself out in the open like that. When you're playing Escape, what you really want to do is lure the Wood Elves out towards you so that you can then attack them in ambush as much as possible. Yeah, so if we do this, we'll fully recover. But yeah, we don't have enough movement to hit the Griffin Wood. But you'll be able to do it next turn quite easily. If you can't win with this, 20 versus 20, then you need to rebuild your army, because it's obviously not working for you. But there you go. Situation solved. It's definitely something that we've done before, this whole, you know, just tag the Lord out and change stance. It's very useful if you're getting caught in force march. The other thing that you could do is just not make silly decisions like that. But yeah, you always got to keep in mind, Wood Elves are extremely difficult to deal with, especially inside their wood settlements, their tree settlements. If there's an army sitting in there, and you're thinking, oh, I've got one army, I should be able to beat that. Maybe not. Okay, because they are very difficult, they rush at you, trees get in the way. So clear out the area of Wood Elf armies first, or make the attack, like declare war on them while they're out doing something else, and then go for it, which is actually fairly easy to do with Drycha. And another thing with Wood Elves is try to auto-resolve as much as possible, if you can win, that is, against the Wood Elves, because surprisingly, Wood Elves are not that strong in auto-resolve, but they're very strong on the field of battle, so if you can get a good auto-resolve against them, then you can save yourself a lot of heartache, because yeah, it seems sometimes, oh yeah, it doesn't seem like that difficult, but then they absolutely screw you over. Trust me, I know from experience. Anyway, that's the end of this one here, guys. Hope you learned something, hope you enjoyed it. This guy should very easily be able to finish off Drycha now. Drycha has no troops left. If we have a look, she's completely crippled. Your army is in essentially perfect shape. You know, take this. You might even be able to auto-resolve it. Anyway, that's the end of this one. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you learned something. Appreciate you, and we'll see you next time, fuckers. Bye.